Hello. Just setting things up here. Yo, 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 Blue Metallics, what's up? What is up? All right. Okay, so a little bit different this time. I've been messing around with. I'm not sure how interested people are in this, but I started. Well, I've been playing some Warcraft 3 Reforged, and I'm like one of those old school. You know, I had Warcraft 3 when I grew up. After StarCraft, and played a lot of custom games, and I did a little bit of map making as well, but nothing serious or anything like that. Just toying around with the editor. Was especially interested in the scripting part. And I was surprised to see that when I looked now and looked for what are the latest development stuff you could do with World Editor, like the editor in Warcraft, and there was actually a plugin, or not a plugin, a repo that let's see if I can show you here. Where is the thing? No, that's the wrong one. Wait, where is it? Oh, I see. Hang on. Warcraft 3 TypeScript. Here it is. Yeah, so I thought that maybe we could make a map with this, or at least explore a little bit to see what you can do with it. So I've been toying around with this a little bit to get a kind of a working environment, but really, and just to understand what you can do with this. But basically, what you do is you need Node, and Warcraft 3 Reforged would be optimal, I guess, maybe. And the first thing you do, you would clone down the template repo that is somewhere. Well, this points to the zip file, but yeah, here we go. So this is the template repo. So you clone down this, and then you can start making the map by coding in TypeScript, which is really cool. Because what they do is the Warcraft 3 maps are using, well, the modern ones you can use Lua. The old ones used something called Jazz script, or I don't really know what it stands for, but it was I don't know. I don't really know what it was based on or anything, but it was some kind of scripting language that I've only seen being used in older Warcraft 3 maps. But the new ones you can use Lua, which is great. And there's also this project is using a TypeScript to Lua converter or translator to transpile the TypeScript into Lua. And I'm more familiar with TypeScript than Lua, but there's also some intricacies with this, So, okay, let me just show you what we have right now. So, basically, you have this project, and here's like the entry point of the like the map code, and basically you can define a function and call this add script hook, which will put this function to be run in like the Lua file later, like at the bottom or something. Yeah, after would put it after the main function or something like that. So here you can do a whole bunch, you can do a lot of, you can do have the whole API from Warcraft 3 to like code in here. So that's one thing, that you can actually like do the coding in TypeScript. Another thing is that you can also define like new objects as well. So, but that I've been fiddling around with a lot, and I came up with this solution here. So it looks a little bit messy in here, but essentially it's just because of the limitations of this thing here. So what is happening is that we call this compile time function, and the Warcraft 3 kind of TypeScript project will actually translate or transform the TypeScript code. So it will look for calls to this function, and it will take the inner part, basically extract this as, it will transpile it and extract it as pure JavaScript, and then evaluate it. What you can do is you get these object data and constants that you can actually define new object types in here. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm like defining some abilities, some units, and stuff, and then you save, which will actually save the files, the actual files, because the map is like a folder, it's a directory. And that was also surprising to me. I didn't actually know that you could save a file or save a map as a directory instead of as an archive, which they usually are. But yeah, while you're editing, it's nice to have it as a directory because everything is available without having to extract and compress or whatever. And then you can also return things from this comp time things. So here I'm returning like the IDs of these units here. I should also add abilities as well. Is it really a transpiler? I mean, even implementing TypeScript frontend would be going. Yeah, so there is apparently a TypeScript to Lua transpiler project that this project is using. So there's like a generic transpiler project that is used, and yeah, that would, TypeScript has a built-in. You can actually analyze TypeScript code using the TypeScript project. Like you can actually convert source code into an AST with the TypeScript project. So you get that for free with TypeScript. You can analyze the AST and walk through it and do whatever you want with it, really. So that's, I'm guessing, what they are using. So they don't need to create a parser and tokenizer or whatever for TypeScript themselves, because that's already done in TypeScript itself. So that's really nice. And then they would. I haven't looked at the TypeScript to Lua project, but I'm guessing they are using the TypeScript's native, AST API and just taking that. So, and that also it includes things like importing and stuff like that, as far as I recall. I'm not too sure about how that happens, but yeah, there should be some kind of compatibility using like a tsconfig as well and stuff like that. It's like Odin has his parser built in. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. That's awesome. Yeah, so so that's pretty cool because it basically one thing that it does is, as I said before, it takes, so this part happens in, it says compile time, so it happens when we build the map, so it doesn't end up in like the runtime of the map itself, like in when you actually like play the map. This is happening at build time, where we create all these abilities and units. We define these things here. So I made also these shortcuts to, if we look at, well, the template repo comes with these script files, but I added this one, which opens up the editor as well, and it also syncs, like if you save the editor, it regenerates the global variables there, or whatever it. I think it takes all the things you've placed in the editor will get special IDs that is then also like extracted and generated into TypeScript types. Is TypeScript more suitable than Lua for scripting games? I mean, I think they are pretty similar in what they can do. I think it's just I'm more familiar with TypeScript than Lua, since that's my day job. And Lua is more native, so it's like if you're doing things in Lua, you get more nativeness because the Warcraft 3 API is in Lua, but this is just it's transpiled, so it's kind of like the same thing. Like I don't know. They have a little bit different. I mean, with TypeScript, you can also utilize some of the basic features that TypeScript has, and like maps and sets and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure. Oops. I'm pretty sure that is what we can do. Well, at least in here though, here's like actually evaluated in JavaScript. So in here we're in JavaScript land basically. In the main function here we're in Lua land. So you kind of have to think about that. You can't do anything in here. You have to think in terms of like the Warcraft 3 API in here. But it's really, you have this project W3TS, which exposes a bunch of like API things that you can do. So for example, if I want to make a trigger, well, this creates the builder. And what you can also do is like, which is really nice with TypeScript, like Lua also has like, you can define modules and you can require them and stuff like that, but Lua doesn't have strong type system. Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah. I usually, when I do like Lua stuff, I usually, when it's a little bit more complicated, I usually add types to things, because you can in like in the doc format. I mean, and TypeScript has native support for types, so I think that is obviously more comfortable for me at least. But here, for example, we can say, okay, well, I want to add like I don't know, init. Let's just make a folder called init, and I want to make like init players. So this would export a function init players, and whoops, and basically here, instead of doing this, we want to just call init players. Yeah, it's a little bit, when you haven't like included the file in the project yet, sometimes it's not visible, so we have to kind of, actually I haven't saved it, so maybe that's why. There we go. Now that's really nice. And then we probably don't need triggers here. Objects. Hang on. Is that really a valid import here? Okay. Anyway, I thought you couldn't have global, like non-relative, like if you don't have dot or dot. I thought that this was automatically trying to get something from node modules. But there you go. Maybe they changed it, I don't know. Yeah, Warcraft 3. Maybe I should spell it out. I didn't know if people actually knew what it was, or never played it? Okay. Blasphemous. No. I mean, it is starting to get kind of old by now. I think it was released in like 2001 or something like that. If I remember, like StarCraft was like 98. So it would make sense for it to come slightly after that, 2000, 2001. But I mean, yeah, and then Reforged came out a couple of years ago. Man, maybe it's like even longer than that. Okay, and we import new players. There we go. All right, so I think enum. I'm not sure how to do this. Maybe it's like player group or something. Group. Like I remember, you have to kind of be familiar with the API in Warcraft 3 a little bit to use this, I think. But groups, like there are several different types of groups. I'm not sure. This is only unit groups. There's like player groups as well. I'm not sure how to access that. Like RTS, I mean, you should try it. It's when it came out, it was actually very unique as well with the heroes. It received a little bit. I feel like it was a little bit of mixed reception because people wanted like just a better Warcraft, I think. But then they kind of changed the whole dynamic of the gameplay. Like the units had like way more HP than the earlier like RTS games. Like earlier RTS games, like the units just die instantly, but in Warcraft 3 it's like they have like a lot of HP, and the heroes like level up, you learn skills, you get items, there's creeps. There was so many new ideas actually. But I liked it more as, you know, playing it kind of like an RPG, almost like RTS/RPG. Yeah, the campaign was really fun as well, I remember. It might be a bit dated now, but Reforged tried to improve some things. I don't really know. I haven't really played the Reforged version. Okay, so where's the player groups, or how do you do that? Maybe it's map player something. What is this? Map player create. Wait, create a player? Here we go. 4. Oh, force. I mean, get players to a force. I guess we can define the forces in the setup code as well, maybe. Or maybe not. I'm not sure. No, you should be able to do it in the scripting part. Yeah. But I just want to, because in the editor, what you can do is you can take like player group, like pick all players in a player group, and then the player group would be something like all players controlled by a human or something like that. And then you would then you could loop through all those players and like set up those players. But trying to see where leaderboards. Here's like the player map players. No, this is just, yeah, this is like a single player, I think. Yeah. Wait. Players. Is this like all players? Not sure. Player, leaderboard, item group, units of player. Yeah, I think this group is just for units, unit groups. Player. That's kind of weird if there is no player groups. I mean, maybe you do something else. Group. Get enum player, force enum players. There seems to only be like force that you can use. Okay. I mean, I guess you could do something like this. You can, because we know that there are, I think, 24 players. So we can just go through. Man, I notice when I do TypeScript now, and I go from Zig to TypeScript, it's gonna be maybe we wanna do. We write a Zig to TypeScript compiler, and then it's gonna transpile back to Lua. So there's like 24 players, but this is like if how many players do you want to have in your map, right? So this is gonna be like max players or something. I'm gonna say, I don't know, 10 or 9. And then we do init. We're gonna have init player. Player index. Well, actually, we can just get the player directly, I guess. Does this give you an... no, this is a map player. Oh, shit. Alright, that should be good. This would create a whole bunch of these units. So we can actually see if this works now. And I have to set up so that you can see what's going on as well. Maybe I'll need to change the window size. But let's first I need to also there's like a little bug that I first need to open this in the editor and save it, because there are some weird issues with some of the like ability data, which apparently makes the map crash in. So I have to go in, save, open up. Now I can launch it. Let's see if I can make Warcraft 3 show up here. And there you go. There's all the units. And they have collision 0, so they are all like bunched up here. Okay, cool. So there you go. You can see that it works. Cool. All right. Now. Okay. I mean, yeah. So what I was doing before was I have to work a lot to kind of make sense of how to actually create these object types in this compile time function and understand how it works, and also crucially how I can use require from within here. And I ended up creating a separate project that I can require and install with the node, npm install. And so this is actually referring to another project that I made, which I made these helper functions that helps me build these abilities units a little bit easier, because otherwise you would have to basically say like object data abilities copy and then this is like the bloodlust. So you can say, let's say I want to copy the bloodlust ability to a new ID, which you have to kind of specify here. Okay, and that will be our bloodlust ability. And then you have to basically just set a whole bunch of properties on here. But I was like, well, I want to have a little bit of utility functions, but the problem was that you can't actually like easily require something from within here, because this is like evaluated from within the transformer code. So that is like evaluated in another directory somewhere. It's not evaluated in this directory, so you can't import things in this relative position or directory. You have to kind of, so what I did was, as I said, like I installed a local project that I made with these functions, and then it works then. So there you go. All right, so let's see, I want to set these players. I think I want to create the forces as well. I'm just gonna pop in the editor and see what is in there already. See if I can. I'm not sure if this. No, I can't really show this because it's like. Well, I guess I can show. It has like a lot of different windows. Can show it like this, maybe. Okay, good enough. So, but you can't see what I'm doing here anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna open up forces, force properties. I'm not sure what they did with the editor, because it's also like when I try to do things, it's also like super laggy. Okay, so we do have two forces, defenders, enemies. Maybe I'll. I'm not sure how to deal with the forces. Let's just do this. I will go here and I will just make forces in here. So these are the player force. And a force is basically just a group of players that can be, they are basically allied, or you can set them to be allied. And then you can create another force, which is another group of players where you can make them to be like enemies with other force. Hey, finally got an interview today. Oh, congratulations. Awesome. Let's see what happens as an outcome. I think I answered all questions. Yeah, good luck, man. That's really nice. That's, you know, getting an interview is like almost like the last step before you get hired. So yeah, hope things go well there. All right, all these functions have like it can return undefined. So I'm just gonna do this, and I guess we'll throw an error. I'm not sure how that will show up, if it's gonna crash the map or if it's what is going on, but let's just try it. So actually we could try just throwing and see how that works, but we'll just put a could not create force All right. Now, what's cool with TypeScript is that is not in Zig, which I wish Zig kind of had, is that the types can actually change. Like the type of a variable can change depending on where you are in the code. So TypeScript knows that this is force or undefined. Okay. Here we're checking, you know, not player force, which would only be true if it was undefined. So if player force is undefined, it goes in here and it throws an error, and that is an a flow code flow exit here. So TypeScript knows that this won't this will like abort the rest of the thing. So what happens is that down here, player force is actually now force, because it knows that it can't be undefined anymore, because if it is undefined, we go in here and we exit. So if we ever get over here, it's not undefined anymore. So I just think that's really cool. I think Lua also has that with the Lua LSP. It also has that infer thing, which is really nice. It took 14 days to land a real interview. Yeah, sometimes it takes a while. You can't really count on that. It's yeah. As people said before, it's a numbers game. How many jobs did you apply for? And what do you mean the rest were fake? Like AI, or okay. So we have this player force. Now I want to add all these players. So these are gonna be the players that are in this force. So we're just gonna add the player here. Awesome. And then I wanna, can I set the name of this force or handle? What is this handle? I don't know. Because in the editor you can set the name, you can set a name for the force. But I guess maybe that's also it's kind of weird, because when you set the game up, before you even start the game, the forces are actually like visible in when you decide which player ends up at which position and stuff like that. So the forces, I think you have to kind of define the forces beforehand, maybe. Is that a... No, because that wouldn't be an object. It would be something else. But I think in here we can only deal with these objects. Okay, so maybe that's not possible. Maybe we have to use the editor for that. But then we already have a force, though. We already have a force. From handle, from player. They should all be in the same force, probably. Also, I'm not sure what this handle is. ID, init from handle. You can't even create this. Seems like it's protected. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure how to do that. We could create. We could do like from player, which would This gives us the, I guess this gives us the force that the players Well, okay, if player 1 is not connected, will this still work? I'm not sure. Yeah, you should continue to apply jobs. Even if you have an interview, you shouldn't take that as a done deal. I don't know. They will proceed with my profile, so we'll have backups. Yeah, definitely. I mean, because there's a risk that it won't go through, so you should definitely... And even if it goes through, you might find something that you like better in the meantime. How's the game going? Shifted to TypeScript. Yeah, I was doing BSP a little bit, and I just played a little bit of Warcraft. So wc3 means Warcraft 3. So I was just playing a little bit, and I was I've been interested in making like Warcraft 3 maps, and I found this repo where you could develop a map using TypeScript. So I'm just exploring that a little bit. So let's say this is the force that we get from the actual configuration that you have like in the editor. And then we don't really need to add the players because that should already be done. I'm just gonna double check that. All right. Where's the thing? Force properties. Right. So here, well, you don't actually see this, but here we have. Okay, you don't see it, so whatever. Oh yeah, so I actually don't have more than the first player. I think we'll just forget about this for now. And yeah, I'll cause yeah, there's only one player in here. I'll just put this to 1. We don't need to add the player to the force. It should already be in the force. So we actually don't even need the force. Well, actually, we could take the force and we don't need max players. What we can do is we could enumerate the players in the force. Enum players. Filter. What? How do you enumerate? I don't get it. You call this? How do you enumerate the players? Are you working as a remote software engineer? Yes, I am. One second here. So here's the handles, force, enum, players. Okay. But what does it do? Like you call this, and what happens then? Like how do you actually enumerate the players? Because you call, I guess you call for with the callback, and then you can use, you know, you can use a special function which gives you the current enumerated player. But is it like, do you call this first to set up the for loop later and call it after, or how does that work? Getting started. Right. So there's not much examples here. You can go to the template, and there's like, and this is kind of like an example, but it's really bare bones. It's basically just this here. It doesn't show a lot of the features, so I am not sure how to use this for this enumeration thing, but I guess we'll try. Okay. So you call enum players and then for, maybe. I don't know. Like, I would assume you call enum players and then, okay, there's a filter, but then you also provide the for callback. Here you can just loop through normally, though. We don't even need to use the whole enum thing. We'll just go through all the players like this. Okay. Oh, sorry. All right. So. So yeah, so we have the force. We go through all the players in the force, and we initialize this player. We also have the enemy force, but I think it's like the 20th, like the last player is in the enemy force. I think we need to initialize that player as well. But what we'll do for the player, actually it's not in the 0.00. I want to get the position. I want to get. There should be like player start location. Okay, so we have like X and Y. Start location X and Y. So then in the map later we can actually set those locations to where, you know, the unit should start, basically. Is this front end or back end? This, well, front end or back end? I mean, yeah, that implies that we're doing web development. This is like, I'm making a Warcraft 3 map. Yeah, and it crashed because there's a bug. So I have to open it in the world editor first, then save it, which will clean up some of the weird issues, which is kind of annoying. I looked up and down to kind of see if I can fix that issue. See, all these things are like auto-correcting. I'm not sure why this happens. And but now we can try to start it with the with Warcraft 3 here. And there we go. And here's our builder at the start position. Okay. Cool. Now, there's a couple of things we want to set. There's like game. Not cache. Config options. I wish you could do this. Not sure if this is actually possible then. Oh yeah, visibility? No? Like I'm not sure what it's called in this API. Maybe not everything is actually in here. Camera setup? No. Fog modifier? Because there's a thing called like visibility in no, this is not correct. And like game options and stuff like that. Hooked config. What does this do? Color, globals, player colors, color names. Frame. Oh. I see. You can do like UI stuff. Cool. There's file. You can do like do something with files. I'm not sure about this. Like you can save progress or something. There are no standard IO natives, so this system relies on an exploit which ended up being sanctioned by Blizzard, and because of this, there are some caveats. All files are confined to the custom map data folder. The only allowed file section of TXT and PLD. Okay, so you can essentially write like save data on this. Because sometimes maps will use like a password that you save, that you kind of have to screenshot or copy the like a thing that gets printed to the screen. And then you have to paste that in when you want to resume. But this would allow to kind of have a save file on your local machine, so you don't have to do that. But there's not that many maps that use that though. Okay, we have camera, but I'm pretty sure camera is like you can create an actual camera object that you can use to for cinematics and stuff like that. Effect, I don't know really. Region is just a region. Widget, not really sure. Rectangle, game cache, camera setup, maybe camera setup. We'll check out some of these APIs. Sync request, a system which provides an easy way to synchronize data between game clients. The data will be split in chunks as have been ordered until all are received by every player. Huh. Interesting. So, okay. Dialog button, sync callback, weather effect. That's probably not what we're looking for. Okay, this kind of maybe disappointing here. If we cannot set these things, we might have to actually do this in the game editor instead. But essentially, I want to make so that the whole map is shown from the get-go, visible. No, this is just creating a camera, I think. But why would this be? Oh, are we modifying the camera for a player, or what is happening here? Or for all players? I don't know. But I don't think this is what we're looking for. Camera setup. No. Okay, so I don't think that exists here, so we have to kind of do that in the editor. But okay, let's just forget about that for now. So basically, we want to set a couple of things like for each player and stuff like that. So, is there something else we can do in here? Cripple. What the hell is this? Reveals a player's remaining buildings. That's what happens when you like lose all your town halls or something like that. Enforce is local. Get state. Set state. I mean, maybe it's in here. No. Slot state. I see. I think this is where you can see if it's a user, I think, or maybe controller. Playing. Oh, I see. You can check like the current status if the player's still in the game. And controller. No. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so you want to check if the controller is like the user. I'm not sure if this is how you can check though. If the controller is not a user, then we don't initialize the player. User just means it's not a, it's not a computer controlled. It's an actual person controlling. I mean, I guess it can be AI. Yo, SKF, you doing TypeScript? Yeah, I am. I'm doing like it's a TypeScript that compiles into a Warcraft 3 map. Okay, so now how do you set like resources, or I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be some way of setting. Maybe it's state. Yeah, here we go. Gold. Resource gold. Gold gathered. Not sure what that means. I think we just set this to whatever is the starting gold. Okay, let's just see if this works first here. A Warcraft 3 map, yes. I'm also just gonna add a global init trigger here that will set visibility and stuff like that. Oh, maybe that was not the thing. It's a little, sometimes a little bit hard to find these. Things in the editor. One second here. Game. Very sure it was like game something. Maybe not. No, visibility. Yeah, disable fog of war. Disable black mask. That should be it, right? Okay, save. I'm gonna close the map. Actually, let's just quit this whole thing. And I will start it here. Yeah, so basically we're programming in TypeScript and it compiles into it's like we're compiling the coding part, but also like some of the object stuff. So you can see that now we have 10 gold here. So we can oops, this has the wrong cost. Okay. Okay, so let's go to objects and we have our footman here. I never set the actual cost here. And what we can do in the meantime, we could just do raw gold cost. Yeah, this is like some kind of extraction that went wrong, I guess. Undefined. You can see in the name here. But basically we just set it to 10. I wonder if it will crash now. I think both. Mutasimos is on both. Yeah, it will crash. This is so annoying. Like, I'm not sure how to fix this issue because I have to go into the world editor, save. Every time I do a change, I have to go in there, save, exit, and then open it in here. I mean, at least it works, so that's kind of cool. Because it's like I was starting to create this map with the actual original editor. And at some point I felt like, well, I know that there's a way to kind of use a programming instead. Because now it's 10. So we'll build this here. Oh, this shouldn't have a mana cost. And what the hell? What the hell is that? Is that what shows up when you have it? Because I removed the turn off texture. What the fuck? Okay. All right. So that's good. The knockback ability should not have mana cost. Oops, 0, I guess. Now what's kind of weird here is like you can define these objects, but if you have an ability that has multiple levels, I'm not sure if this works. So I think I'll just remove the levels actually. It should just have like one level or 0. Cooldown. And you can like change abilities stats in the script as well. So you can like during the game you can actually change the stats of an ability as far as I can tell. Yeah, so those are undefined. So you can't actually, they won't give like a buff. So the idea is here, I have this knockback ability. So I'm basically making a tower defense game. And I was thinking like, well, I want to make like some fun like abilities using scripts and stuff. So I made a footman tower and this knockback ability, which is meant that it's not meant for you to actively use it. It's like a passive thing which the unit will actually, if it has the ability and it attacks something or that thing takes damage. I had a trigger set up, so this actually did work at some point, but that was like in an older version with actual, you know, the original scripting language that Warcraft 3 has. But the idea is that the hit unit will get stunned, and it will kind of move back and slam into other units, and they will also get stunned and also damaged as well. And that will have like it will always happen, and it would have like a 10-second cooldown. I didn't want it to be chance based. Wait. Right, so we have this in the player. I think it should be good for now. We also need the waves to spawn. So this is what's also nice, because we can just create, you know, waves, export function, init waves. All right, and then we go to main and we call init waves. There we go. There we go. A lot easier. Well, maybe not a lot, but it is really nice that you can do this using you know, programming language instead of the editor. Okay. So the waves. So I think now we need something. We need the trigger stuff. Wait, was this actually in here? Convert map meaning. Disable fog. No. God damn it. Game. What the hell is this? Convert map visibility. Mail stories. Day. Yeah, okay, so there is a way to do this. Suspend time of day. Okay. It's just that it's... Oh, I see. So it's just like global functions. That's like just available. I think this is like the pure API. Okay. Why does it say... What does this mean? Use time of day. No, so... Wait. Set time of day. Okay. I'm just gonna call it init game because I don't know. And main game. But the visibility is still like fog of war. Oh, fog enable. Here we go. Fog enable off. Oh, here we go. Here's the things. Mask. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we have the waves. Okay. And in here, I think, yeah, the triggers. We need something. We need the trigger stuff. Now we have to figure out how to deal with this. Yeah, we have like register trigger. Okay, so you can create a new trigger. This would be like the spawn trigger, perhaps. I forgot exactly how I did this. I'll create a trigger there. So that would just create a new trigger that we can use. And then I guess, can we register on this? Yeah, so we'll register. I guess it would be some kind of timer event. I forgot how I did this. No, I think they kind of daisy changed each other. Like the first thing, we didn't actually call this trigger. We just... It was... Okay. I think what we did was that I had a function spawn wave, which well, first of all, we need which units are we actually spawning. But if we can say this, so we can say that, okay, we can define a wave. So this is also something that you can't actually do in the editor, is define. Well, you can't do it in the old system, like in the old Jazz script, but you can do this in Lua with type documentation, but I'm not sure how much the editor has support for that. Also, the editor doesn't seem to have like basic, scripting syntax and stuff like that. But yeah, the waves are gonna have like a let's just say, but I might have more advanced types of waves later, but let's just say we have a unit type and we have number of units to spawn. What else? Number of units. Let's have also like spawn interval. Like how long between each unit will they spawn? Okay, so now spawn wave will basically will have this print. This is like you can use this to print messages to the screen, and then there's like wave. And then we need to define our waves. It's just an array of waves. We have one wave, unit type. Oh shit. I guess unit type. Wait. Get unit type ID. No. I want to get like the unit type from Are you a thing or why? Okay, how do I actually get this unit type? Unit pool, unit add type. What? Is unit type? No. Get unit type. Oh, wait. Oh, that's a unit type. Okay. That's confusing. Yeah, because in the editor, a unit type is not really this. It's more like which unit is it? Is it a footman? Is it a peasant? Okay, so unit type is not correct. I guess it would just be, okay. Actually, you know what? This is just the string. Actually, unit ID, unit type ID, I would say. Maybe, or yeah, let's just do that. So unit type ID would be, and now we have the objects. The handy dandy objects and the unit type. I mean, actually, we would have objects later, but for now, I'm just gonna say it's a peasant, which is that ID there. Number of units, let's do like 10, spawn interval 1 second or something like that. All right, so that is our first wave. Okay, and then over here. Now we also need like a global kind of wave number. So I mean, we could just store it here. I think this should work. It's just you know, wave number 0, and that would work as a global, I would say. Okay, and then I think, actually, I'm not sure how they do it with these. No, that should be fine. Yeah. We'll see. So wave 1 starting, and then you can print some information about the wave. So it's like wave info, waves, wave, or something like that. And it should return a string. And we'll just return like the unit type ID. But you could probably say something like unit name, get unit name. Oh, that wants an actual unit. Get unit. Unit ID is a number? What? Oh yeah, it is. You have to like convert it. But there's a function to do that, so that's fine. Okay, anyway, let's just do that for now. Okay, so that is starting. We just want the basic structure first. We can like fix things later. So it's starting in, I don't know, 5 seconds, 2-3 seconds. Spawn wave initial timer. Okay, so now the current wave is going to be waves wave. All right, so here I think what you can do, you can basically just loop while I is less than current wave number of units, and then we spawn the unit. So we will do like unit create. The owner is the enemy player, so we don't have that here, but I'm just gonna say that this is 23 would be the I think that's the actual player that we want. So that's the enemy player. Unit ID, you need a function called forCC, which turns the unit ID string into the actual representation that this function needs. So there we go. And then this now would be the spawn location. So actually we do have the spawn location is actually somewhere here, the spawn. So we have the spawn location as a global that is like generated from, so there's a region defined in the editor, and then this project will grab those regions and will make them into, it will kind of create these types for us so that we can access them. I think they are simply like created in the Lua config or Lua files as well, so that we can it's just declared so we can use it. So we have like rect get rect, and this would be, I guess this would be like top left. Actually we want the center, so this will give us the spawn center or spawn location. And I'm just gonna do this because it should exist. Wait. Okay, spawn X, get location X. Well, let's just do this here instead. There we go. Spawn X, spawn Y. All right, face. It should face, I think, to the left should be 180, maybe. I'm not sure actually. All right, and that should be fine. Oh, that has to exist, right? There we go. All right, so that's the spawn wave being spawned. And then what I had like spawn initial timer, game start timer is like 30 seconds something. I'm just gonna set it to like 5 seconds just to speed things up a little bit. But I wanted to have like an initial startup timer. So essentially, we'll have like first wave starting in timer seconds, and then this thing sleeps for this amount of time. And I believe it's in seconds. We'll see. And we get a promise. Oh, so you can have like async. Can you have async functions in here? Okay. And then, and yeah, also here we want to sleep then. So we want to await sleep for current wave interval to spawn the next unit, and we need to make this into an async function. Oops, async function. There we go. All right. Now we sleep for that amount of time, and then we will initiate spawn the first wave. So we basically just call spawn wave here. We don't really need to wait there, but whatever. Let's just spawn a wave, which will create the first wave. And also, when this has been created, I believe, well, we get the unit from there, I think. Yeah, it has to exist, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I think it might be undefined if there's like, if you can't spawn more units or something like that, but that's probably not going to happen here. So we'll create our unit. We get it back. So usually in the editor, you would create a unit, and then after, to refer to that created unit, you would do like get last created unit to actually get that unit. But we don't really need to do that here, because we can just use the return value here. So that's great. Now, what we want to do is we want to order this unit. Issue order, let's say point order. The order is going to be order. Wait, how do you get the order? Globals, move. We want to move to the point. The point is going to be, so checkpoint, get rect center. Why is this like, it's like a location? Okay. And then we have, this will be waypoint 1. and location. How can you make it into a point? Like, what is a point? From handle, location. Okay. So we should have a point there. There we go. So that just move over there. It returns a boolean. I'm not sure what that means. And that should be it for the first for this part here. What we need then is when the unit reaches the checkpoint. I'm just gonna do all this because it's a hassle to open the editor and test this first here. Okay, we'll do this once, and then I'll do the rest of this spawning thing. I just want to see. Okay, I just want to see that everything works up until this point. Also, we can go to the trigger editor and remove these the initialization thing, which is really nice. Okay, so now that's saved. We go in here and then we run the game. Hopefully it works. Okay, you can see the visibility is working. We can build our little. And oh yeah, it doesn't actually have an attack, but you can see it actually works. The spawn is waved. Okay, so now we want to create a trigger. I'll add a function here, which is like init triggers. And we'll create, so checkpoint 1 trigger. So we have this trigger. And we will register a enter region thing, and the region is waypoint 1. So if something enters waypoint 1, this trigger will be called, and then we have a filter. I don't think we need this filter, so but that should be an optional. That should be an optional argument, really, here, parameter. Okay, and then we get an event back. I'm not sure what to do with that. Okay. Anyway, well, actually, no. Okay. Now, then we need something to run when this trigger actually happens. So I think that is the action. So we'll add an action which will run this function whenever the trigger actually happens. Or whenever actually someone enters this thing here. So it's a simple like event system, basically. So we'll add. So basically created our event, and now we're adding a listener, you could say. So this would be checkpoint 1 callback. What's this? Oh, I see. It's not a region. after rect. Wait, from load region handle. I always thought TypeScript was mostly used with softwares like web application apps. Yeah, I mean you can use it for anything. Basically, I mean you can create desktop applications with it as well. How it's used here is it's used as a they're taking like the AST of the TypeScript code and then transforming it into another language. It's transforming it into Lua, which is then used by the game to run the map. So I wouldn't say that this is a very normal use of TypeScript. I would say this is very niche here. But I mean, yeah, you can use TypeScript to make like, I mean, CLIs and any kind of program really. Using Node or but it does require you to have Node. It doesn't like compile into a program. But it is useful for like a lot of CLIs. Sometimes you have to like have Node to install them. So they're actually run straight with Node or Bun or something like that. But what is going on here? Enter region. Can't I just use this as a region? I thought this was actually a region. It's actually a rect. Okay, so we have unit event, but that is not what we need. Unit in range. It should be in range. Leave region. Okay, and here's the generic unit event, as it's called in the editor. I think we should use this one. Maybe? No, this is not correct. Yeah, no, this is not correct. I'm pretty sure it's enter region, but then the region is weird. So maybe we need to like create a region. It's weird that it doesn't. There's no like region from rect or something like that. Also, with this region like destroy itself in the scope? No, it won't. I don't think. So we'll create a region, and then you have to like add a rect, which is this. Okay. There we go. So now we have our region. And there you go, there's your region. This is undefined. I guess we have to pass the handle. Okay. Cool. So there we go. Yeah, I really thought that these were actually just being able to be used directly here. But apparently it's two different types of things. Okay. So whenever we enter the region, a unit enters the region, we add this action here. Now to get the unit that entered the region, you would get like get unit, get region. Well, we can get the triggering region, we can get the entering unit. There we go. So the entering unit is the unit that entered the region. So there we go. YouTube's banning your accounts. Circumvention. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, it does make sense that you would want to prevent like users from creating new accounts if they have been previously banned. I don't remember what you said the reason was, but yeah, that is not great. What is something about copyright or something like that? Do they say something about like, do you have to wait until you can like come back, or like how can you like get back? It's weird also that because you said like, did it happen like immediately, or did you get? Isn't it like 3 strikes and you're out or something like that? Alright, so we have our unit. Now we want to order. So actually, yeah, we want to get the unit. So this is the handle. And then we want to get the unit. There's probably an easier way to do this. But we'll do like from handle. I'm just going to assume these things exist. And once we get to this one, we should issue another point order. Same thing, and then we'll move to the next checkpoint. Which is checkpoint number 2. And there we go. That should be everything that's happening there. And then we essentially just need another one here. We need checkpoint 2 callback. And this would go to the end. Now I will say that was way easier to do in here than to do in the editor. Although in the editor you can also copy paste. You can copy a trigger, as it's called, and paste it. But it's much harder to create just a function that accepts argument. You can't actually do that. You can't create an argument or a function that accepts argument and I call that function with some arguments. You can't do that unless you're using the custom scripts thing, but then you have to work. Then you're just coding anyway. So it's banning all your Google accounts, all your Google accounts, YouTube channels. Oh, Go Guy channel don't get banned by any chance. Oh man. Yeah, but why is it okay? I forgot the reason why you got banned. I mean, there has to be a reason, right? All right. So when they get to the end, we should also have an end callback. We get to the end, we will remove the unit. Oops. Remove. Wait, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there we go. Destroy. It's called remove in the editor, so I'm not sure why they like changed the names. Maybe it was changed in when they moved to Lua or something. I don't know. Okay. And then the check. No, then we don't have anything else than happening. But what we do happen, what will happen, is that we should have like the player life be reduced, and let's make actually let's just do player here. Player, so this is like, I don't know, TD player. Circumvention policy according to this, no matter what channel you own. Yeah, but I mean the original. Like, why did you get banned from the get-go? Like, circumvention is because you already got banned. But what was the reason why you got banned in the first place? Like, I don't necessarily disagree with the circumvention policy. I'm not sure exactly how it's spelled out, but I mean, I think that there should be some way of getting back. At least if you feel like it's like you've done like fair use or something like that, or you know you have been played, you got like 3 strikes at the same time because they didn't, because you maybe have uploaded a bunch of videos that broke the rules, and then instead of, you know, and then you might think that everything is fine and that you did nothing wrong, but then all of a sudden you get banned because they found more than 3 instances of breaking the rules or something like that. I don't know. That I don't feel is fair. It should really just be 1 at that point, and then they like tell you to remove the videos or something. I don't know, or fix it or something. But yeah, that just sucks a lot, because also it's like it's such a huge thing to get banned, because you can't really get back. I mean, I have Twitch. I am streaming on Twitch right now. It's on Twitch as well. So you can join there if you want, and then, you know, the chat will be less delayed as well. Okay, so what will a player will have lives. So lives or life. Let's call it lives. And there we go. So that's that. And that's basically it. And then we would want to have a global kind of array of player state as well. It could be a map, but that's annoying to deal with though. Well, I mean, let's just do like players. I'm gonna call this TD players is a map from number, so that's the index, to a TD player. Thank you. And then I guess in init players we will also set TD players set player index, no, number. What, you can't get the number? Okay. But we can get the player number like this, I think. No? Get player, map players, get player. index. No. So we have like ID number. I'm not sure if this is the same as the number. Whatever. I mean, it's a number, and this is a map from number to player, so we can just set it like this. Okay. Yeah, and we set it to whatever should be the initial here. So starting lives, let's do, I don't know, 30. There we go. Okay, now back over here. So here we need to get the player. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna export get TD player. Now, what do we actually have? We have like the owner. Oh, that's just my player. Get owner. Actually, it's not. That's not the owner. No. Okay. The TD player is actually based on. It's kind of weird because we're gonna have like a lot of these rectangles, depending on which player you are. So we would probably we kind of have a variable, something that keeps track of which player you are. Also, yeah, we could use like closures here to create a set of these functions. I'm pretty sure you can do that in Lua as well. So we can essentially just have one set of these and then change out the player number. So essentially creating a bunch of these and then the player number will be shared between these, and we'll have one for every player. So so I guess this would be the ID, the number, the ID of the player, and we'll just get that. There we go. The ID will be something player ID, and lives. I guess if the player doesn't exist, we don't really care. So can you do this? No. This is such a shame. I love it in Zig that you can actually do this and it works. Because I think here you have to like if not TD player return, then we return. There we go. Okay, so we do need the player ID. I think what we'll do is we will say init triggers for player. Player ID is a number. We'll move these functions in here. Now they will share this. They will have access to the player ID. And essentially we'll probably group these later also into arrays. Maybe even creating these points so we don't have to create them here. And that will be indexed also like with the player ID. So that should be good. And well, yeah, so now we'll move you in here. There we go. Okay. And so here we'll call triggers, init triggers for player. Now I'm not sure if the number, if the ID is the same as the index, but what we'll do is I'll do map player from index 0 dot ID. We'll do that first. Oh, you also tried the same question mark return. Yeah. I think C sharp, in C sharp it works. I think. Yeah, I think it works. It works. I think you can do like question mark, and then throw. Or was that TypeScript? Maybe that was TypeScript. I don't remember. But question mark, return does not work though. Hang on, code guy. Are you on Discord, by the way, code guy? There you go. There's the link. Throws works on JavaScript. Okay, so it's throw that works, but not. So essentially, like undefined throw. Now see, it doesn't work. Expression explained. I'm 99% sure, because I worked with both of these languages like simultaneously, and I know that it worked in one of the languages, but not in the other. So I think it should work in C sharp. Let me check this. Yeah, but it's also said it's expression expected. Wait, which version is this? I found an online. How do you do nullable types in? Okay, so it's God damn it, these ads. Yeah, so here's one. Test throw. How did you do it here? Exception. There we go. Case closed. I was like 99% sure that in one of these languages you can do this. And there you go, it was C#. So you have like something optional, question mark, throw. So that's nice. Do you see it? Alright, I keep it around. Just yo, cool guy, what's up, what's up? Yeah. I mean, yeah, and in Zig you have the or else return, which is incredible. But not in JavaScript, so that's worse. Alright, so we have these. I wanna then create a trigger for that as well. And this would be like checkpoint to region. Whoops. And checkpoint 2 callback. All right, and then we have the last one over here, which is the end, and you are the end rectangle. Oh. Okay. There we go. So we have our little triggers here. We can set them up for any player here. And we're starting with player 0 because that's the only thing we have regions for right now. And it basically sets up these triggers so that when the unit enters waypoint 1, we go to a waypoint 2. When a unit enters waypoint 2, we go to the end. When a unit enters end, we remove the unit, and we also don't do anything. We get the player. We should reduce the lives. We should print. Actually, this should just be for that player. Is there a way to print locally? Print to player. Get local player. God damn it. How do you make the handle? Like we have the ID, that's not the same. Done. What do you mean done, code guy? Org. From index. From local. Ah, I guess we can do this to get the local player. I mean, we have get local player as well, I guess, but this will give us a map player, so that's good. Now, is there printed here? Message? No. Message. Text. Display text. Display text I. Display text I. Display text to force. To player. Here we go. Local player. I mean, yeah, now it doesn't matter. Now, okay, just to get local player like this, because that gives us the actual thing that we need. Player X. Wait. X and Y? What the hell? Okay, so here we don't need, like, these ones don't require X and Y, but as soon as it's for a specific player, then we need X and Y. What the hell? No, that's not. Okay, whatever. 0, 0. Message. You lost a life. You have, well, let's say TV player lives left. Okay. If actually, yeah, this would be like if TD player if it's more than 0 still, we do this. Otherwise, it's game over. So now we can do print to everyone. Player something something. Now we need to get the player here, so we need to do like player, map player, local. No, that will be like everyone's own local name. That's not great. Okay, you know what? Instead of doing player ID, let's do like handle. Because then we can get the ID from the handle. There we go. And then we know the player is going to be... Actually, this doesn't work either, because this will show it for every player. because we're getting the local player, that everyone has the local player. Yeah, I don't know what my brain did there. We need the player that lost. So we need the map player, whatever, from handle player. Okay, there we go. And then map, and we send it to map player. Actually, this one is just player, because that's the handle. But down here we need the map player. There we go. And then you should have a name. Yes. Lost. Okay. There we go. And then, well, actually, I don't think we need to print that out, but because we are going to. There is something called defeat. Custom defeat. Which player message? I guess custom defeat. Okay. The player is player. Message. All right, there we go. Okay, so technically now we should have the thing going around the whole thing and the units when they reach the end. Okay, I forgot about one minor detail when it comes to the checkpoints and stuff. And that is to have only the enemies units do this and not like, you know, all units. So if I were to move my builder now to the end, it will like die and give me lose a life. So, yeah, if I go up here, well, we can kind of see that it works. There we go. All right, yeah. So it should work for these here as well. Yeah. Cool. All right. Now, okay, so what we do then is that you can add like conditions, and we can actually have the same condition for all of them. So we can have just one function here that has like the condition. So this could be like is entering unit an enemy. Okay. And we will get the entering, we'll get the unit. Actually, is there like unit from event? Wait, what will that be though? Because there are like a lot of these event units, like attacking units, attacking unit, attacked unit. Sometimes there's like more than one way of getting the unit that you want. I'll just do this to make it, to trust this more here. Okay, so if it's an enemy, we will return if the owner is equal. I guess we can't do equal, we have to do like ID maybe. If that is equal to the enemy player ID. Okay. So then here we will do checkpoint 1. This only should work for those. So we'll add a condition. The condition is entering unit and enemy. There we go. Okay, I'm just gonna double check that that works. All right, we'll probably close up shop here pretty soon. I just wanna, what I wanna do is I want to recreate the to get back to the state that I had before, because I did create this map before. I didn't get too much further than this, to be honest, but I did get to the spawn waves. The unit that you spawn is also different than we spawn here. This was just spawned the original like peasant thing. The tower has like an attack and all that, and it did the ability worked. So I do want to get back to that state. So maybe we'll try. I'll try to do that this stream here. But we'll see. Just see that this works here. This should work. And if I move over here with this one, now this one doesn't work anymore. And over here and over here. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Hey, why are you back back there, cold guy? All right. So now go to objects. The builder should be good. This guy needs attacks. This thing needs to, yeah, the mana cost. I'm not sure why it says 40 still. You ate some lunch, okay. Now I was thinking, why aren't you on Twitch? Did you create from scratch? Yeah, I made a whole Warcraft 3 from scratch in TypeScript. No, I'm just kidding. So basically what this is, I'm using Warcraft 3 as, you know, you can make Warcraft 3 is an RTS by Blizzard. you can make you know, custom maps that has scripting, and you can create custom units, custom abilities. I mean, yeah, it's basically where I won't say it's where TDs were born, but really the TDs were kind of flourished. Like StarCraft did have some modding capabilities with the editor, but it's nowhere near the capabilities that the Warcraft 3 had. So that's when, you know, all these mods came out, like Dota and yeah, most notably Dota and other such, you know, a lot of different maps came out, and TDs were also like exploding at that point. And so, and I'd really enjoy a good TD and just exploring, like, you know, new things. And I was just thinking, like, hey, I mean, the editor for Warcraft 3 is pretty simple. That was also what was great about it, because it's compared to the StarCraft 2 editor, which is extremely complicated in comparison. The Warcraft 3 editor is like, has this kind of nice simpleness to it, where it's like it lies in between being advanced and simple, I guess. Which is what made it so nice to work with, contra the StarCraft 2 editor, which is also, it's, I mean, an amazing editor, but it's also like, I think it's like too complicated for anyone to just pick up and start doing things. But you can do, like, it's incredibly, like, they really went far with that editor, the StarCraft 2 editor. But yeah, I just feel like the Warcraft 3 editor, it feels like you can be more creative in a sense, because it's a lot simpler to do things. I'm not sure if you understand what I'm saying. Code guy, yes, WC3 is Warcraft 3. It's a game by Blizzard. It came out in 2001, I think. Around there somewhere. Warcraft 3 release date. I think it was 2002. Okay. Apparently 2002. You know, it's the third installment in the Warcraft series. After that came World of Warcraft, of course. 2004, I believe they had. Man, that was like way soon after. Wait, was that really? I remember playing the beta. Yeah, I played the beta of World of Warcraft, because I was all into Warcraft and StarCraft. Actually, I liked Warcraft more. I like the fantasy setting more. Anyway, yeah. So Warcraft 3, it's an RTS, and what I'm doing here is I'm coding. So someone made a project where you can code in TypeScript and then have that code work in a Warcraft 3 map. So I'm using this code to define abilities and units, buildings, and then also the scripting of the map to make a tower defense game, or a tower defense map in Warcraft 3. It's a little bit rough around the edges, this Warcraft 3 TypeScript project here, but I mean it does work. So that's kind of cool. With a little bit of elbow grease, it does work quite nicely. There's a little bug though that I'm annoyed by, where you have to enter the editor, save, and then enter the game before it works, but that might be on my end, I'm not sure. But the mana cost here doesn't seem to actually work though. Let me check this again. If I go in to the editor, and I go to objects, abilities, that's right. Yeah, you can't really see the thing here. Let's see. Monocost, it says 40. AMCS. So you go in here and then you search for AMCS, and that is the monocost. So that should change the monocost. Not sure why that's not happening. Oh, but this is a new ability. Yes, A10. Was that in there? Hey, Dialog, what's up, what's up? Yeah. I was playing like a bunch of TDs on Warcraft 3 and I couldn't resist the urge to try and make a map. And now I ended up using like a Warcraft 3 TypeScript project to compile TypeScript into a map. A10. But the monocost does not change here. That's strange. That is strange. Same? What do you mean same? You've been playing some Warcraft 3? Do you have Reforged? I play on I play some custom games, some TDs online on Battle.net. That's really a blast from the past, as you say. Man, why is this not working? Like everything else seems to work fine. Hang on. I'll check. Well, actually, none of these probably work then. I'll check here. I have this other project where I'm building like utility tools for this. And we have this one, the base, the raw. I mean, it shouldn't be any different. Used to play TD, don't have it anymore. Oslo Land with friends. Yeah. Yeah. I used to do that as well. Like, I played on LANs, and also I played. We had these internet cafes back in the day, but they died out like a long time ago. Because everyone got like very good internet, But we sat on internet cafes and played on like after school and stuff. Man, there were like 3 or 4 different around here cafes. That was kind of cool. Played some CS and Warcraft 3. That was basically it. I mean, it's basically just Counter-Strike and Warcraft 3. I don't remember us playing anything else. Quake, oh yeah, Quake 3. And a little tiny bit of StarCraft. Yeah, the all-nighters. The things you could do when you were young. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, let's do this. Let's do. I will extract you, and I will log that out. So we have a logger here. I'm not sure why it's like giving you a log function, because you can just call log from here and it would also log because it's evaluated with JavaScript. But we can log here, which is basically just console log that they provided here. And then maybe there's some issues with the console log I'm not aware of. We can just log knockback out here to see what it says. It probably doesn't show everything, so let's do JSON stringify as well. With a little bit of indentation. And if I throw here, it should just show it and quit. Alright, so here's the whole thing. It does say Monica 0 and everything else as well. Old IDs, the Bloodlust, yeah. Is it transpiled to Lua? Yes. Well, not this part. This part is only for like building the object files or the new abilities and stuff. But then you have the main. Here is like where everything in here, well, everything that is put into like this hook here, this function, everything in here is transpiled into Lua. And so here, for example, we have like, you can set up a bunch of stuff. I think these are like straight from the Lua API, perhaps. I don't know actually, but yeah. And then you can like, yeah, we get the force from player map, player dot from index. Could not find force. We go like you can iterate like this instead of using the weird iterators they have. Which it looks like the iterators they have is like kind of weird, so you probably it would probably be easier to just code that. But anyway, yeah. So set gold to starting gold. Create a unit. Yeah. So all this is transpiled, and then the most advanced thing we have right now is the wave. So I'm making a TD, and so this is so nice, but because you can just define a type. Okay, I have my wave type with the unit type, number of units, spawn interval. So which unit, how many units to spawn in total, how much time between each spawn, and then we have all the waves defined here. There's only one wave, and this is just a string here because it's like the peasant which I just chose. But I'm gonna create a custom unit, and then it's gonna be replaced by an actual a constant instead of this string here. Okay, and that's just a global variable like this, and then we have our init waves. Print is like displaying a message to everyone. We init our triggers. You can sleep, and then start to spawn first wave here. So that's pretty cool. And here it also works with async await. So sleep is actually an async function. So you wait with the sleep. So we can have a sleep in a loop. And I think you can have that in the original script as well. So yeah, this handles all like spawning, and this handles a bunch of the checkpoints and getting to the end and stuff like that. So yeah, it works pretty well for the most part, but I have run into some issues with the objects definitions. Yes, I mean, yeah, and you can see also these triggers here. These are the same triggers that you create in the editor. So in the editor, there's a trigger editor, and in there you can do some GUI scripting with something called triggers. You create triggers and all that. Yeah, the mana cost is, I'm not sure what's happened there. I'm gonna check these as well. Attack speed, movement speed, and cooldown to see if they changed or if they stayed the same. I'm not sure why that is happening. Abilities. Just make sure that's the same ID and everything. Knockback. Okay, the cooldown didn't change. Duration is... No, wait. Mana cost didn't change. Cooldown didn't change. Yeah. So I'm not sure. Some of the things did change and some did not. And it only seems to be an issue with the abilities. So I'm looking into why that could be. Which with this one here, this is the but I mean it's exactly the same as the other one. Yeah, it has attack speed undefined. That's not the issue, because that is an issue when that is actually from the repo that I cloned from. So that is like, it's like an issue with the library. It is actually called that because I guess there's some code generation happening and there's like a bug there. So, but it seems to map anyway. Like if I because the unit seems to work flawlessly, and this has like gold cost undefined, and this actually did work. So this does not seem to be the problem. The problem is probably something with my builder here that I've created here. So I recently created this builder. Basically, I made a unit builder, and now I'm making this ability builder just to make it a little bit easier to work with when you actually define these things. But it seems to be something not quite right with this one. It could be that it's just mapped wrong or something. I don't know. But I mean, it seems to have like the base working. Actually, that might be artifacts from before. You know what I'll do? I'll go into the editor and delete that. Oops. I'll go into the editor, delete the ability, because it should just create itself when it's compiled here. Yeah. Delete A10. There we go. Save. And open again. And it should be there. Yeah, we got A10 again. And it looks like it has like, yeah, it looks like it did change some of the things, but not the things that we looked at. Okay. And I did like break this out and check all the properties, and they seem to be correct. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. There might be a bug with the library. Old ID, new ID should both be set. We are passing an object data in, otherwise it wouldn't have saved anything. We're copying ability. Yeah, so this code is ran, but it's like when we set the things, it doesn't seem to work properly. And here's all the things. And this thing is like, it's like taken from, so this ID is like the ID of the field, and you can see that it matches up with the ID of the field in the editor as well. So it seems like it should work, but there is actually some issues with the abilities in like when you open the editor. This happens every time. Every time you compile, open the editor. Can you see that the yellow text at the bottom there? Yeah. So this happens, but that doesn't seem to be an issue. But then, if I save now, you get all of these warnings here. And that happens every time. So there seems to be something wrong with the ability data that is saved from the library. So that's a shame. That's a bummer. I mean, what you can do is just define the abilities in the editor instead. I just wish I could do it here. And then, you know, you just refer to the abilities by their ID like this. So it's not really an issue to like move forward, but it's just a bit annoying that that one thing doesn't work. But yeah. Okay, I think we'll just do this instead. We'll say knockback equals to a 10. Yeah, that it's the changing the light bulb situation. So, yeah, it's just annoying. I have to go into the editor and define these abilities. That's what I wanted to avoid. Yeah, so I mean, it's like some of these. Hang on. Is it because it's like originally a hero ability or something like that? No, it's bloodlust, so it comes from like the unit, right? Shaman. Yeah. Because if I save, it says like dir cool. So when I go into the editor, they actually have a 1 after, because the 1 denotes that it's a leveled ability. So maybe leveled abilities does not work. Does Bloodlust actually even have levels? I mean, it says it has only level 1. What if we try something else? Does any ability here have anything else than cool 1 and stuff like that? I mean, that is probably an issue then with that. So okay, okay, let's do this. Now no, it's from here. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna go in here. I am going to save, take a screenshot. There we go. So now I have all the things that no. So it's dir, hero dir, cool, RNG, data, buff ID. Okay. So I have all the things that went wrong. It's a research ability. Yeah. I think so, but it's only I looked at basically all the abilities, and they seem to follow this pattern where there's a 1 after the name. This might just be an untested part of this thing here. But what I'll do is I'll go in here because I'm in like the one of the things in here. I think this should be the place where we have... Actually, if I go here and I'll search for like cool... Do you have regular expressions? Okay, let's try. No. I'm pretty sure it has. I just need to find a flag. File name pattern. No. Pattern. Okay, what is I? Ignore case. Oh, so you can do like this. No? What? Oh, sorry. Oh, bar is this path. Okay. God damn it. I was pretty sure that you could search. You can. See, here it says cool one. I built this data JSON. That is something. Okay. So maybe it's not in here then. Or maybe. It has an ID though. It's only like in this place where we find. Can you include? All the files. Like if I go into the transformer and search for cool. No, that's not gonna happen. Oh man. Oh shucks. So this, I mean, this is partially, this is, what the hell? This is actually, oh, it must be here. No, that was abilities. Okay, that just froze. Type Unreal, what? Cooldown time. No, that's attack. Yeah, we're in units now. That was not what I wanted to. I wanted basically at some point when you call like object data.save, it goes into each of these and saves them, and that's in somewhere down the line something happens to update the files or something. Save modification file container save this ability props, build the specific props. But where's the mapping to those other things? Cool and cool one and those. Container one. Oh, here we go. All right. Try to say modifications. Maybe it's like the editor or something else that takes that data and puts it in the database or something. I don't know. Object saver, game object, prop name. Right, so there's the thing. Modifications, push TS to war 3. Oh, the type and the value. Okay, so it's just a value converter. And we get a list of modifications. Okay, I mean, I don't really understand. Warcraft 3, what are the SLK files? Type of table which Warcraft 3 uses to contain all kinds of different data, which Widgetizer converts all custom data into SLK files so that Warcraft 3 can load everything faster. Okay. I don't understand. Like, what is the process? Like, we don't even have SLK files, as far as I know, in here. Unless they're embedded in something else. And these are all, this should be all the files. This is like all the files, because the editor opens this directory and yeah. And when we save to this same directory here. Wait, is that the directory? No, that's not the right directory. Maps. No, here it is. Here it is. But there's still no like SLK files in here. Okay, where are the SLK files stored? Allow local files? Wait. I mean, yeah, so where are these files? Are they part of these things? Or what? Because I think they are like very No, don't delete. Yeah, very binary here. Okay, let's say we have, like, we save. Okay, so save, I think save doesn't actually save anything, like it doesn't actually write to the file system or anything like that. Can I look at? No. So it's probably then the. No, wait, that's. Where's the object data? No, here we go. Yeah. So we get all these. But here it says file, save modification file. File version equals 2. Maybe it's like the wrong version or something stupid like that. Why isn't it finding anything in here? What is this? Ah, here we might have something. It might be this thing. So does D stand for ability here? No, do that. What the hell? Where's the abilities? Units, items, students, abilities. It uses like the same file. Also used for abilities. Okay. I see. Okay, let's do version, original table, load, save. So just, okay. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, it does some stuff here. Like, I'm not sure where the conversion happens, or where, like, the SLK stuff is. It's confusing. I'm trying to. Okay. Right, so they're writing. It's like converting the units into like the binary, or I mean the abilities into the binary format. Okay, modification. And another thing here. ID. Data pointer. And that's the value. I'm pretty sure it complained about the name. The unknown database field. But this is not the SLK though, I don't think. Man. And the ID, that should be like... Should also go like... Should come from straight from here. Save abilities. Oh, what is this? Oh, that's all the names of the abilities, right? Okay. So here we can see like the ID refers to the ID of the... That's the same ID that's in the editor. When you open the editor, you open the object editor, and then you enable display raw data or whatever it's called. You can see all the field names, all the field IDs are displayed like this. And the field ID looks to be correct, so I am confused. That's why I'm thinking it might be like a version issue, like it's saving it in a different version or something. But yeah, this is a little bit... gives you the file. It's saved, and then like over at the transformer where the compilation actually happens, this is where the compilation happens. Where is that thing happening? So here's the object data being passed in. Object data is like load object data from the map file. It loads all these files in, and then let's see. New files. If this entry files, last files before was saved or modified data. Yeah, so at the end, the object data has been like updated. The save object data is called. This one actually writes the files. I was like, where's the ability? I was over here. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I was thinking like maybe we could just, if we just change the mapping of these 4 or 5 whatever things, maybe we can make it work. But no. It's like 6 different fields. Why am I not finding anything in here? Is it because it's called dist or something? Like, okay, so what I'm thinking now is I want to go to, I think file, I want to go to MDX M3 viewer. This is the place. Okay. What is this? The shadow. Minimap icon. Okay, we're mapping it out. Import file. I don't know what that is. Doodad. The doodad and destructible file. What is this? The units and items file. Okay. Camera. And this was the one we're looking at. Also used for abilities and upgrades. Doodad modification file. So this is like an ability modification file. SLK table file. All right. Because, okay, my reasoning was that the SLK file was like embedded in W3A because of some comment. You can use Silk Object V3 tool to recover a unit. Okay. The hell's this? SLK editor. Wait, this was Electron. What do you mean by electron? There. Okay, so here's the app. WTS parser. Yeah, I guess I'm just trying to understand how how it's built up. Where do we actually create these files? Is anything else happening, like when it's compiled? Just stores these things. Is it an actual SLK file? Like, is this the SLK file? But it doesn't seem to have any of those fields. Okay. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna leave it there. I think there's two options. It's either to like continue on this goose chase to figure out how, if we can fix this issue. I can check also the GitHub if there are any current issues. I know also that this version of this package that we're using here is actually like a fork, as I understand it, or it's like a copied fork thing, so that someone made to make it work specifically for this. And so there might be some issues that got stuck in there. Like, I don't really know, but that we can also look at if there are what the hell is this called here? MDX M3 viewer. It's also a very strange name because it seems to do a lot more than just view things. But I guess the name got stuck or something. Also, it's actually TH at the end. Like, if you search for it, you don't find it as well. Well, if I search for that name on npm, come on, where npm? Come on, where's npm? There we go. Oh, the icon on npm on Google is broken. MDX, and also like the name is kind of weird also because MDX and M3, those are just, I think those are like models. Maybe it like started out as just a model viewer and then it expanded into doing everything, including like saving new object file. But that's the original, I think. This one is what this package is using, is this with the TH at the end. I'm just having trouble finding the repo for this because it's not named the same. Oh, I see. So it's the cipher. Okay, yeah, it is a fork. Okay. How much behind is it? It's actually up to date. But which version am I using here? The version that this one is 5 or 13. Which one am I using? I'm using. What the hell? This is even. What? This is larger than the version on GitHub. What the hell? How is that even possible? Oh, maybe it's like a different tag or something. I don't know. No? I have no idea. Yeah, okay, it's a different branch than master. Okay. So it's actually ahead of the fork or of the original. Okay. What is this? So we got 2 pull requests. What's this one? This was in 2024. Modification table savings is refactoring for upload. That sounds adjacent to our issue. Maybe we can take these changes and see if it works after that. Or something. Can we like copy this? Copy as. The thing is, we don't have the repo. We have like the. But we can clone it, I guess. Okay, we'll try this last thing here, which is. I wonder how you can do that though. You have to set the lock file maybe to select a specific version or something. I don't know. Whoops. Do I have it here? Yes, I do. Okay, so maybe if I just change this. Yeah. Okay. So let's do this. Let's go out here and we'll clone. Oh, sorry. We'll clone this. And we'll go into that. And then it said like check out. Whoops. Okay. Wait, 12? What the hell? Oh, what that was what it was based on, maybe. I see. So it needs to be updated with the master branch. Okay, but I think we can just do. Is it master or main? Master. Handle added. So this was added. But this is different. I'm not gonna push that, but but let's see, and then oops. Oops. And then we'll do build. Yo, mientras hacemos... Yeah. Probably not gonna continue with this next time. We'll see. I thought it was just interesting to show for some people here. But I mean, yeah, we ended up with a little bit of issues as well. It worked pretty well until one little mishap. I mean, you can still use this project, define all the abilities like manually, but that's not how I roll. I want to automate these things, god damn it. Did you figure out the BSP collision issues? Kinda. Sort of. I mean, I sort of figured it out, but I think I didn't find the root cause, but I found like a hack which made it work for intersection, like for raycasts, and for some of the, or way more of like sending a sweep circle in a longer distance. But when you send a sweep circle in a very short distance, like we're doing when the player is moving, like every frame you send a very short sweep forward, those will still get blocked. Yeah, no. So the player will not be able to move past the board, the kind of the boundaries, but the projectiles would be able to do that, like instant, very very fast projectiles, or very fast things, whatever it is. Okay, so we've built something here. I'm not sure. This doesn't seem to be the same thing though. I am very confused. Like, what the hell is happening here? It doesn't even have the same name here in the project. Like, this seems to be the actual thing, like a WebGL model viewer. So no, but it also has these things. So it also has these. Okay, so maybe we need to build it in another way. Pre-publish only. Maybe this is what we need to do. Hello, Paul. What's up? Welcome back. I'll try this approach. Do we have this now? Okay, now we got the correct thing. If this doesn't work, actually, no. Then we'll go in here. This, I'm pretty sure you can say like file, like that, right? And then if we go to the template, we go to node modules. Yeah, utils. There we go. Now you are, this is like a symlink now here instead. So now we'll go here. We will test this out. Hope that it works. It's hopefully gonna use the new backend thing that we pulled in. You'll see what's happening here. Pack it first. I mean, I think it seemed to work, but it might be using some cached node modules or something. We'll see. Okay, I think the editor is like crashing out here. We might have broken it. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. Can you please? Okay. Okay. Well, that was my last. I mean, I might have broken something in the merge, whatever it was. Oh, we can't see that. God damn. Which one was it? I don't know. Anyway, yeah. I'll leave now. Sorry, Muta Simus. But I'll be back tomorrow probably. Wait, tomorrow is, yeah, no, actually tomorrow I probably won't stream tomorrow actually. But yeah, it is Warcraft 3. That's what we were trying to do here. What if I run it with the thing? No, it doesn't even work here. A non-variable type 25966. Okay. Yeah, I broke something in that package there. I don't know. I thought it might. There's something that does not work with this package though. If we just, where are we actually? We're in updates, right? So if we check out, we do a new branch and we switch back and we reset. Wait, what did I do now? We update. What the hell is this? Oh, this is this the fork? Oh, wait. No. It should have done it correctly. Okay, now we're on the latest here. All right. And then you run like whatever it was. Yeah. Actually, you know what? If, let's say, we search for this. No. Man, that's so strange. How could the label be wrong in that database? I was... Oh, wow. Oracle bone scripts. Because what I was thinking is like maybe they did like a substring manipulation, something weird like that. Because I would expect to find the you know, something here, but yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's it. I thought I was just checking out this this cool package here, which enables you to write Warcraft 3 maps with TypeScript code. So yeah, that was pretty cool. A little rough around the edges with some bugs and stuff, but I mean you can work with it. And the actual scripting part seems to work really well. It's just the object defining part that had some issues. So I am, you know, I'm probably gonna continue working on this a little bit, you know, here and there. But we'll see what happens next stream. So but that's gonna be it for this time. So thank you very much for joining, watching and chatting with me here, and I hope you have a nice day.